Welcome back, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Unplugged. This is an exciting episode, and people are probably sick of me saying these are exciting episodes because they're like, yeah, of course, you think it's an exciting episode, don't you? But I really am excited about this episode. Tasha Roundtree is with us. She is our Director of Community Relations. Tasha, we've been talking about this episode probably since pre-Halloween.
That's right.
And we've been trying to work out a date on when we were going to record this, and I'm really excited about it because, there are certain projects in anybody's job that make you really excited, that make you really pumped up and make you feel good about what you do every single day. And I feel like this project and seeing it come into fruition, what we're about to talk about, has been one of those projects. It's been something that is a cornerstone of who we are as a company, our identity as a co-op, and really what we do in the community. And I'm not going to tease it anymore, but we're going to be talking about Neighbors Helping Neighbors. If you've seen that online or if you haven't, either way, we're going to cover it in this episode. But we're going to talk about Neighbors Helping Neighbors, but I feel like we should back up first. This is part of our Operation Roundup program. Tasha, do you want to touch on Operation Roundup, maybe its impact and kind of the history of it a little bit?
Sure. And, to your point, the timing of this is perfect because we're in the Christmas season. It's the spirit of giving. So I'm going to talk a little bit about our Operation Roundup program and how giving and generous our membership is. So Operation Roundup is at the heart of our foundation. It's the members that support the foundation by rounding up their monthly bill or donating their capital credit checks. And then that all of those donations come into our foundation, and we then in turn are able to help members of our community with either bill assistance or community development. So the Operation Roundup just allows us to provide crisis heating assistance. And then two, I want to point out, our foundation is also supported by our two subsidiary companies, our Ridgelink and our Propane and Fuels, but Operation Roundup is the support for our members' foundation.
In setting the stage, we do Operation Roundup. That's all year. This is something
Right.
we do all the time. But Neighbors Helping Neighbors is a specific part of Operation Roundup that we're launching because this has been a tremendously hard time for a lot of people.
Right.
There's no doubt about it. Since this pandemic, inflation's through the roof. People are struggling more than ever, and we want to make sure folks stay warm this winter. So do you want to go into what was the inspiration behind Neighbors
Sure.
Helping Neighbors a little bit
Yeah.
more?
So we created the Neighbors Helping Neighbors Relief Fund to try to get additional one-time donations from members, customers, employees, board members, really just the community as a whole, to help those who are struggling with higher costs this winter. And, we, like you mentioned, October, we saw early on that the cost of heating oils is very expensive this winter, particularly kerosene. And so if someone's in need of a delivery, 100 gallons, it's over $700 for 100 gallons of kerosene. And so that's a real challenge for a lot of our membership, a lot of our customers that are on a fixed income, or, it's very hard to balance that kerosene traditionally has been one of the lower fuel cost. So, early on in the winter, we realized that we were going to have to do something in response to that. So we created the Neighbors Helping Neighbors Relief Fund, and we are preparing to step up assistance and help those who are in need. And not just our propane and fuels customers, but also our electric customers that are struggling due to rising costs. The last thing we want this winter is for someone to have to make a choice between a basic need, whether that be medication, food, heating costs. So we are stepping up our assistance to help with all the rising costs that our membership and our customers are experiencing.
And I feel like this couldn't come at a better time. We talked about the inflation side of it here just a second ago, but also, too, I was just looking at the forecast for the next couple of weeks, and it looks like, when we're recording this now, which is mid-December,
Right.
It's looking like it's going to be tremendously cold here to wrap up December going into January, which, it's typical for the time of year, but maybe we're hoping for a warmer winter, and that's not the case. But if it's cold, it just makes it all the more important for this campaign and Neighbors Helping Neighbors. So talking about the program, Operation Roundup as a whole, Neighbors Helping Neighbors, who does this impact? Who can get help? How should they go about getting help?
Oh, that's a good question. So Neighbors Helping Neighbors, Operation Roundup, it's available to anyone that's in our service area that's in need of crisis heating assistance, and that whether that be a delivery of propane, fuel, or if they need assistance on their electric bill. So if someone needs assistance, the best thing to do is to either call or visit our website. There's a list of the helping agencies on the website, or they can call or go by the district office, and the energy specialist will be more than glad to help them, give them the contact information for our helping agencies. And we rely on community partners that are helping agencies to administer our Operation Roundup funds. And those agencies, so all a member has to do is call them, though, and if they're in need of assistance, and they'll be glad to help them figure out how to get Operation Roundup assistance. But also the reason we do that is because these agencies have other resources available to help when people are in need. So it's not just they're getting help with their propane and fuel bill. They can really assess, are there other community resources that we can use to help these individuals?
And that's one of the great things, when you're donating money, sometimes you do or you don't know exactly where it's going. And that's what's awesome about it is, this is going to help local people. This is going to help neighbors in need. That's why we're calling it Neighbors Helping Neighbors. And this is going to go through a process. This is going to go through a local helping agency. They're going to identify who needs the help, and they're going to provide that help, which is another awesome aspect of it. And we touched on how does someone get help, but let's touch on the giving side of things. So if I want to give help, I want to be part of this program, how do I help a neighbor in need?
Okay, well, that's a good question. And right now, like I mentioned, we are trying to get one-time donations because we know the need is immediate. So in order to give, all you have to do is go onto our website, Blue Ridge Energy. I think is it / or / you correct me.
Oh gosh, it's / neighbors. BlueRidgeEnergy.com / neighbors. And if you're watching the video side of this is my mental note that I'm making to myself in the edit to put the put the URL there to double check. But yeah, it should be / neighbors.
Great. Or you can mail in a check to Blue Ridge Energy. Just make it out to the Members Foundation. You can call and donate over the phone or stop by your district office. And I do want to point out here, while most of our donations are coming in from members and customers in our service area, you don't have to be a member to contribute. We also have a lot of customers from our propane and fuel side that are helping with this relief effort. So, just because they're not a member doesn't mean they can't participate. And maybe, they can't give a one-time donation, but they would like to start rounding up their bill. We would welcome that. I mean, it takes, I think that's one of the things about the foundation I appreciate the most. We have over 22,000 members contributing to our Members Foundation by either rounding up their bill, donating their capital credits, or making one-time donations like this. And it's a combination of all of that coming together that makes us able to give those funds out in the community. So you think that your donation is not significant, but when everybody pulls together and the community pulls together, all that adds up, and then we're able to really make a difference in our community.
And talking about making a difference in our community, that's kind of at the core at it. Why does Blue Ridge Energy, why does a co-op want to do this? Why do we want to go out of our way to make this possible?
Blue Ridge Energy strives to make life better for our members, and this is one of the ways that we're doing that. We're giving back to our communities, and we're helping people maybe at a time that they're struggling. It's at the core of what we do. And over the past decade, there's been multiple examples of how we have stepped up and helped our community in the time of need. And a few examples come to mind. The winter of 2014, I don't know if you remember, but it was extremely, extremely cold that winter. So we created a special fund, just like Neighbors Helping Neighbors. It was called So No One Goes Cold. And we stepped up the assistance, helping over 1,600 neighbors during that time, giving out $214,000 in assistance in a 4-month period. So, that was our response at the time. Come forward another 4 years, 2018, a similar event happened. It was extremely cold. We stepped up the assistance through the foundation again. And then, of course, we have to mention our response to the COVID-19 pandemic, in which we created the In This Together Relief Fund. And during that time, we stepped up the assistance. We made more assistance available during that time, and we really helped people that were struggling during the COVID-19 pandemic. So it's just who we are as a cooperative, as a company. We respond to the needs of our membership and our community, and whenever there's a need, we respond, and we continue to strive to make life better for our service area.
And like I said, you really hit the nail on the head there with why it's so important to give back to the communities, and why we think it's so important to do that as a cooperative. But also too, it's like I said, folks, if you're listening to this and you're interested in donating, you can head to blueridgeenergy.com/neighbors. Just one more time there, I want to remind folks about that. And
I've got one more thing.
Oh, yeah.
I got to mention this.
Go for it.
So this year, maybe you're looking for a gift idea for someone. We do have donation cards available. So if you want to give in honor or in memory of someone for Christmas, it would make a really nice Christmas gift. You can make a donation to the foundation, and we will send you this really nice little pretty card for you to give to the person. So if you're looking for a gift idea, you don't have anything for someone for Christmas, this makes a really nice gift.
See, I mean, that's why I always have someone sitting opposite the table. You never know, and you're going to forget something. That's a key part of talking about this program. But Tasha, it's been great to have you on the podcast. I think this is an awesome program. We're all excited about. We're proud of. If you're interested in giving, again, that's blueridgeenergy.com/neighbors. You can go there. You can find out all the details. You can find out how to get help or give help during this holiday season and as we head into the colder winter. But again, thank you for listening to Unplugged. And like I said, blueridgeenergy.com/neighbors.